Ladies and gentlemen, from the MGM Grand Hotel Casino, the city of entertainment here in Las Vegas, Nevada, are proud to present the two best featherweights in the world. It's 12 rounds of boxing for the featherweight championship of the world. The scoring for this bout will be done on the 10-point system per round for the standing room only crowd in attendance here at the MGM Grand of Las Vegas and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing blue trimmed with silver. In his professional boxing career, he has been victorious 52 times, and 38 of those victories have ended by knockout. Only 3 times in 55 bouts has he been defeated. This 2-time champion comes here tonight ready and determined to show all that he is not only the best featherweight in the world, but among the best fighters. Here is the 2-time world champion, the baby face assassin, Marco Antonio Barrera. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the leopard with Adidas trim, his professional record is a perfect one, consisting of 35 bouts, 35 victories, including 31 knockouts. And he is rated by most experts as, pound for pound, the most devastating puncher in boxing today. He is a deeply religious man who tonight dedicates his effort to all Muslims and every believer around the world. And at this time, to honor his father and family heritage, he is requested to say a few words.
Allahu Akbar. Allah is the greatest. Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu anna la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I may translate, I bear witness there is only one God, Allah, and Muhammad is his final messenger. Peace and blessings be upon him. The 3-time undefeated featherweight champion of the world, boxing's royalty, Prince Naseem.
All right, gentlemen, we went over the rules of the dressing room. Y'all need like Amerino. Give me a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Remember, guys, I'm fair, but I'm firm. Touch them up. Okay.
The Prince believes that a victory will earn him recognition as a great fighter as well as a great showman.
Prince Naseem is a southpaw who usually dispenses with the jab relatively early. Squares to Antonio Barrera is a conventional fighter, but by far his...
Boy, they've got one that's going to take a lot of foolishness, so be careful of the disqualified. In every round with a good body shot. Get this, the Prince has got to show, come out of his trick bag and make...
A boxing, not just waiting in, gets to the...
One thing you don't want to get into is a slugging match with the Prince.
What Kevin Kelly thought.
But he allowed Barrera to taste his power just a little bit.
Barrera is not looking in.
Big left hand. It's a very interesting choice of fight plans by Barrera, and he's made upstairs and a couple of shots to the body. Now,
And that left hook that Barrera landed was a hurting left hook.
round 1 is...
Barrera fighting an intelligent, measured fighter against he dazed him early in the round, later came on to land those hard.
The Barrera crowd was going wild every time he connected with Naz around as though on a pedestal of some sort. Is it solely because Naz is balanced?
Goes into the corner and may not be able to give advice. You got to work on his eye.
And you can see the mouse under Naz's right eye as George pointed at him chanting, Nazi, Nazi, Nazi.
And around. someone is going to come out very cold, and it was the Prince this time.
When they're in close, has his head, keeps his hands very high.
At home, don't go lunging out there.
Shades of the Cesar Soto is either pulled down by Hamed or pushes him down.
Head lunged at him into the clinch. And tried.
Have you ever seen a police officer put his hand on a fighter during a fight, George? George Foreman referred earlier in the round to the long delay times before finally coming into the ring. Hard left hand by Prince.
The Prince is the aggressor.
Right hand and a left by Barrera. And Barrera countering him. The canvas together.
Now you got him. Key shot when he saw that weak jab like that.
On him. Then lift up your head and keep working. You're doing great.
The wrestling incident. There you see on off balance, Hamed. They dance around and fall to the canvas.
That Naz wrapped his arm around the back of his neck.
I think the big complaint is that he made him in that dressing room. He's unsteady about it. He doesn't like it.
Stewart said perfect when he came back to the corner. Power that Barrera is fighting the way he is.
That Naseem is more effective as a counterpuncher rather than take
Up to the fight, insisted that he had no particular respect for Naseem's power.
Neck up. Why? What are you waiting on?
Barrera.
Two lefts and then a right. He hasn't found his rhythm yet.
Expected.
So far, Barrera has neutral.
You stayed in the on the ropes and he hit you. That's it.
Next round.
When you finish up, you understand? Be a little more physical with it, you understand?
In close. A right hand, then followed by a...
Which was probably good enough to win the round from Hamed as the two fighters combined to land only. They said, you stood still and he hit you. Don't do that.
Hamed, he was just a busier guy in rounds 2 and 3. I think Marco's doing in this fight is this. He's moving to the left to stay outside of the Prince's. In this fight is to move to the left, stay away from that left hand.
But there's no question he was hurt by that left.
He gets hit because he's off balance, George.
He hasn't got in one position yet. Ooh.
Steps inside and asserts himself as he did right there.
That's for sure.
Nice job.
When the Prince seems like he...
No, George, because the guy Barrera...
Real good.
Barrera.
For the time, George.
Oh, no doubt about it. That's leaving your combination because you think you can take a guy out with one shot.
Naseem wants to do. Barrera goes to the body.
We are definitely behind on points. We are behind, but your head is up, so it looks bad to the ground. And he's catching you.
Nice and controlled. You got it. Just
Very composed, Barrera.
That was a headbutt there. You see
Power.
In fact, he's been so scrupulous about staying away to try to follow up with anything. Hunt and Peck were both fun, and a couple of them were good hard shots. And justifiably so off his record. But if anything,
Naz tonight. Barrera is starting to connect with a left jab.
Marco Antonio.
Each other, standing in the middle of the ring.
Has been feinting toward the body because as you start forward, as
You stepped in with that left cross. That's what got the reflexes of a cobra.
Of a crouching tiger.
Well, you have to give this guy those shots going right now. You lose your championship. You know, he's going to have to fight. You know.
Hamed may have won this round. Short left hand.
Well, as Larry said, it has become a chess match. general about 60 punches per round. Your average run-of-the-mill club featherweight might have lost your championship.
Not only so, he made him tuck his head. It's too straight up.
The head was up. Barrera landed a right. As the head went into the conventional.
You wonder whether the Prince has been thrown off.
Anything but.
He's done a good job of actually boxing tonight.
In a clinch, Ahmed threw a little bit of left hand at him, and Barrera came.
Lennox Lewis, perhaps critiquing the chess match for those sitting near him.
Let's let your power and come back with the left. Let the big shots go. Don't worry about boxing. Let your big shots go.
Good punch for you. You got to put some pressure.
Play on the clinch will tell you that Ahmed has found out he's in with one fighter here who figures to be able to end the fight or begin Barrera.
Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim, I got it going back and forth. 50s. Remember, I tell you, Barrera opens up. He does real well. The rounds are...
All right.
I have him ahead 4 rounds to 2.
I started to say, even though behind in the fight, Harold Letterman has it even in round 6 by CompuBox number.
Fighting. That's what Barrera is doing. He's pacing himself.
Barrera says, come on. Come on.
Break out.
A solid fighter like Barrera doing. Clowning with a clown.
More frequently.
Barrera, he's going to have to climb it, bring it down, close to the chin.
Up the pace with his jab, throwing it more frequently, landing it more often. Barrera on move.
Boy, he's square in the middle yet, but he's starting to pick up the power.
The Royal knows with some royal blood.
Come on, take a deep breath. Okay, I want you to focus now, okay, pa? 1, 2, 1. Right? Right, pa? Dame la poquita. You're holding too much with it, right? We have to let it go.
El jab!
The jab! That's what you need. The jab.
This is the jab, double jab.
Look, even more effective than they are. It's a tactical fight, limiting Prince Naseem's chances to get off with big.
Informed in that round. Now for the first time, you see the Prince getting closer and closer.
Barrera following his...
Blocked. One landed solidly. And a right to the body by... My point. Naz stalking and trying to land that left cross.
You just got to finish up, Prince. When Prince throws one punch combination, he can get a knockdown.
But he's so balanced, so on top of him.
1, 2, 3, and he's in business.
1, 2, 3, 4 more rounds, and the Prince will be out of business.
Throwing 25 punches in a round.
You're getting in front of him and stopping and letting him get off left.
Best punch of the round, right here. Barrera.
Numerical blueprint. Prince Naseem Hamed, 83 out of 240, swing significantly more, landing significantly more. Barrera, 62 to 36 edge.
Right foot on the outside of Barrera for a change. He hasn't been worried about that early on. You see, the Prince just will not finish up the nation. The Prince does. He comes back. Now the Prince has got himself in a position where he has to... Still didn't come back with another. Now the Prince has got his rhythm going just a little.
Trickling from the right nostril of Barrera. Very professional. Left hook to the body by Marco Antonio Barrera.
Barrera is looking at the floor, trying to distract.
Doggone right. Big left hook. Points on the scorecard. And that was another round won by Marco.
Now, but listen, now with 160 single shot. Right, fight down, and you know it. You already saw it, right?
How we doing here?
You understand? All you got to do is land one shot, man. You may.
One problem with Hamed. He throws that big left balance. Off the floor. Experienced, yet still in his prime.
Through 9.
Okay, 6-3, 87, 84. Thrown power shots, hurt the Prince, landed the real telling shots. The Prince really winning this fight the last 4 rounds.
He's throwing the left hand, but he has.
As he just did, things can change, but he's going for one shot.
He can't frequently to get it done here. There's a big left.
Barrera's playing possum.
There's a hard right hand. The urgency of this situation. Can you believe the odds on this fight were 3.5 to 1?
Well, I bet it's there right now. A fighter of Barrera's class that easily.
Still going.
The combinations have been thrown by Barrera.
Okay? You take it to him where you going. That was your round. Okay? Power punch. And you're walking it down now. You understand? Yeah. Everything for power.
Yeah. And if the last one, make sure that it goes in with some spores.
His unbeaten record and his superstar status. 6 minutes. Right hand by Barrera.
All right, break out to me.
Corner with Emmanuel Stewart. Larry, what's up?
Emmanuel, do you believe that
needs a knockout, and I have told him as such. But see, even I don't think he's ever been hurt in a fight, but when he gets
concerned about who you saw in his last fight and said this is a different
till you finish, and he seems to be very focused and very well trained for Nash.
Thank you.
And in round 11, Emmanuel Stewart just quoted to you, it is Marco Antonio Barrera who has been the aggressor to turn it against him.
Nash will not come back with any shot.
Huge right hand. Crowd is seated and quiet.
That the Prince has developed since he was a boy. There is, George. There is. But not when he's running like that. Not.
Short left hand inside by Hamed Land.
In case you want to know officially,
let's get some water.
You can't back up. You got to bend down and go somewhere.
Round 11 was a copy about right under the 12.
Jim, 106, 103, 7 rounds. I got to tell you, he may have lost the 10th round with Barrera, but boy, he had I think the secret is he stayed away from the Prince.
He's not taking that advice. He's going for it.
He's been on.
If you close strong, you just got to close strong.
Hold it.
I think Barrera has already shown with his chin one less qualification. Furious at Naz's antic. And a point deduction from Barrera.
1 point.
For a veteran fighter to have put himself in that position.
Barrera didn't want to touch it. Big left hook by Barrera. Would listen before the fight. And if he loses, as you've seen here, suggest that Allah knows how to spell.
Be cool on that.
His moment of truth has turned into an hour of torture.
Can there be any doubt? Tremendous celebration, and Barrera is wandering around aimlessly in his own. Round 12, Hamed only 7 of 20. There was a point deduction against Barrera for this.
I don't think you like him much yourself, Jim.
I like him fine.
Careful yourself.
Harold, how'd you score it?
Okay, Jim, when you lose a point and you win the round. Antonio Barrera, he won that 12th round big. Cortez took away a point, and I knew it was worth it. I knew it was worth it.
As it 116 to 111, and Patricia Jarman Manning scores it. Marco Antonio Barrera.
Posted huge advantages. He winds up landing 87. There will also be an edge for landing 60 more, throwing 96 more, and landing Marco Antonio.
Thank you, Jim. Congratulations, Marco Antonio.
Remember that when I fight, I put pressure all the time. But in the gym, we work all the time because Hamed is paying my students. Put pressure, a change in the fight.
Mantenerte afuera del poder de la mano zurda de él. ¿Y cómo fue que tú hiciste eso?
Bueno, lo que pasa, gracias a Oscar Maldonado, que fue el que siempre estuvo platicando conmigo, siempre me dijo cómo pelear. Gracias a él estaba ahí donde noqueaba. Era cuando los agarraba entrando, entonces le cambiamos que él entrara para yo poder meter mis golpes. Espero que ahora la gente sí crea en mí.
No, nada rimado, estaba un poco mareado. ¿Por qué fue que tú no lo terminaste bien como tú para tu país, donde hay tantos grandes peleadores?
Bueno, la verdad está muy feliz, quiero mandar un saludo a todos.
¿Con quién quieres pelear? ¿La revancha con Morales?
No sé, la verdad vamos a tomar un descanso, trabajamos muy duro, vamos a pensar.
And I hope you like the fight.
Viva México.
Thank you very much.
Viva México.
And try to destroy Hamed in the brawl. He fooled us, and by fooling us, he won.
Fights you fought.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's as I've told you before. The fact is, he couldn't drop me, he couldn't knock me out, and I'm going out at this like champions do. Come back and fight again. It's written from Allah for that to happen. No delay made no effect. The fact is, I got it.
You be more aggressive.
I knew he weren't going to charge me. He would have definitely got knocked.
And your big left hand more often and more convincingly.
But when I did, it connected sometimes. But you know, that's just the way it. Muhammad Rasulullah and Allah is the greatest. You know, Muhammad Rasulullah.
Going to affect your career, do you think?
How can it affect me? I've got a rematch clause in my contract. I'm getting a rematch.
When do you want to?
I've done 12 rounds and come out safe. Allah and a real man and a real champion goes out.
Naseem Hamed, as he responds to his first taste of defeat. Question. Case, will he change that?
Well, you can't do all that stuff in a boxing match. You got to correct all those things in the gym. Tough cookie.
And what a brilliant fight plan, huh, George?
Boy, he boxed the pump.
Impressive. And Roy, I go back to the comments you made at the top of the show. I ask you, under what conditions?
Like he usually does, because the body shots took everything out of him. Barrera was a great counterpuncher. He did this guy a little bit to make him back down. Then that'll boost my confidence to get ahead. But when he did have to do what you have to do.
All right, we got the viewers to weigh in on this fight as well in terms of getting in, and the numbers reversed from what they thought pre-fight. Pre-fight, it was 50.
Afraid because this is the biggest fight of his career. The first time he's been wrong. And when people saw that, some people I can imagine immediately figured out that that may have been a problem.
Here,
and right here. All right, the Prince throws a shot and an elbow till the referee comes and stops you. You know, they, like I said before, and I don't cry for spilled milk. Like, when a man does something bad to me, I do it back. Don't depend on the referee. We're fighting. Once again, he came back. He knew he had him at this point, so he wanted to intimidate him a little bit. So he's
to the max. Roy, as always, a pleasure working with you, buddy.
Thank you so much, and I do like
GM Grand Garden. Hamed versus Barrera has been brought to you by the